a lot of hair, I emptied a lot of shit pits, and I had a lot of fun doing actions with my friends.
I went to Greenham because I believed that cruise missiles were the biggest threat to world peace my generation had seen.
Living at the Peace Camp taught me that our individual actions can and do make a difference, and that we can actually be very powerful. It took a long time, but that campaign worked.
Hello, I'm Alison Belbin. I'm 59 and I live in Handsworth in Birmingham. Part of those Greenham protests, or a big part of it, was about women demonstrating against male violence and the development of those weapons, and women standing up to that. And we know under lockdown women have been particularly badly affected in terms of losing a lot of our work, having to take on a bigger burden of the childcare and the house, and as well as trying to keep up with work, and also much higher levels of domestic violence. So if we think that all that started nearly 40 years ago at Greenham Common.
Hello, my name's Sue. I'm 56 years old and I live in the Georgian quarter of Toxteth in Liverpool. I was a Greenham woman in 1983 and I lived at camp for just over a year. It was amazing, and the learning curve, wow, that was steep. I learnt so much about non-violent direct action and the need to be creative, but I also learned a lot about myself. Greenham was a community, a safe place for vulnerable and the unique, the home of discussion, debate and counsel. Women openly shared their experiences, cultures and ideologies, and together we grew. I discovered the power of standing together, the strength of listening, and the love of sisterhood.
Hello, I'm Ilona Linthwaite. I'm 75 years old. I live in Greenwich, London. Visiting there did have a profound effect, and I saw the power of what women might achieve. I've always believed in protest, but this was something else. And I realised that before that time, before the 80s, I hadn't really worked with women. I work in the theatre. I'd never been directed by a woman. And I don't think I'd ever been produced by a woman. And that decade was the changeover. And I created my own company, which was for and about women. I employed women writers, women actors. And the whole thing moved on from there. And ever since then, I have worked with women and come across women in the theatre all the time. And now, certainly, they seem to dominate large sections of it.
Hello, my name's Micah May. I lived at the Peace Camp at Greenham Common in 1983 for 6 months. Now I'm living in Todmorden with my partner Hattie Hassan, and together we run Stopcocks Women Plumbers, which is the only national company of women plumbers in the world. Living at Greenham definitely affected me getting to that. I was ready for an adventure, I was ready for a transformation, and living there gave me both of those things. And I really liked who I became because of that transformation. And I enjoyed having the fun that I had while I was living there. The things that I learned living there, I learned about feminism, and that's informed the whole way I look at the world. I learned what patriarchy is and how much that affects everything external to me. I learned I wasn't so much of a coward as I thought I was, and how powerful collective action can be.
No matter where I've lived since Greenham, I've kept with the principles I learned there. I believe very much in community and trying to find creative solutions to society's problems. Living at Greenham taught me to really listen to other people's point of view, to try and see things from their perspective, and to learn from their experiences. But I think the most valuable lesson I learned at Greenham that has been relevant during lockdown, and that would be, together we can achieve anything.